Sparky, six pools.
Hello, Six Pack. I am Sparky. What is it with this camera and making me look worse than I actually look? I look... Okay, anyway. Unrelated. Hi, I am Sparky, and I thought it'd be fun to start a new little series thing where I talk about the thought process behind songs. Speaking of songs, background music please, thank you. But yeah, I figured it would make sense to start with Ruby Onyx Turquoise, my EP, extended play, if you don't know. I believe that has to have like four to six songs, right? And then 7 Up is an album. 1 to 3 is a single, I believe. I said that in a really weird order. But anyway, let's get into what this is here for. Of course, I'm still down to chat and whatnot. However, actually, I should probably show the lyrics on... Would it be helpful to show the lyrics on screen? It probably would, wouldn't it? Hang on. We'll swap this. Here we go. Okay. So, we're going to start out with Hateful Heart. This is not going to be interesting to most people. A lot of people are going to get very bored of this because it's not MSM, it's not... It's just me talking about my thought process behind the things I make, and that's not interesting to a lot of people, which totally valid. So with a future project, I think it'd be better to talk about some things separately. However, with Rot, all of the songs that like didn't come back later in like Apple Farm, the single, they're all written from the view of a fictional character of some sort. Mostly from FNAF, one from Deltarune, but it just felt like a good place for me to start, but I don't think I think I write much better now that I write from my own experience using like a comparison or an analogy. Am I making more FNAF songs? Maybe. Probably not for a good while, but maybe. I'm a little preoccupied with some other music stuff at the moment. So probably not a FNAF one anytime soon. But speaking of a FNAF one, the first one is Hateful Heart, and this is Rot Edition. And hang on, I should make sure I sound okay. Are the audio levels okay? Is my voice okay compared to the background music? The background music's just mostly meant to fill silence. I should probably just check if that's okay, because I did adjust the microphone last stream. Okay, so the first verse is, I am drowning, cogs and oil, and that kind of just means like it's an analogy of sort of like drowning in your own work, basically drowning in just like being fully absorbed in what you're doing. Hi Benny, you made it to a live one. I feel like you would be one of the few people interested in what this is about. Starting to boil, it's going wrong. This song is written, I probably should have said this, from the view of William Afton, sort of right, like, during the whole Springtrap incident, you know? The whole Springlock thing happening. That's the viewpoint of this song. It's kind of nothing, if I'm being honest, but it was my first, okay-sounding song, good-sounding song. Like, I'm able to listen to it and not cringe. That was an achievement for this time period. It was my first song that was like that. Body Doubting. Once again, that's this is literal. Yes, we just started, don't worry. You haven't missed, like, anything. Hi, Nebula. Body Doubting is very literal. His body's failing him. He is being killed actively. Years of hard work, here comes the payoff. Blood, crimes, and crimes. Or maybe it was all my... or maybe it was all my is just a transitional line. But the other stuff is basically just saying everything's built up to this moment. Years of hard work. It took me a minute to figure out... Thank you for that, Nebula. Yeah, you're so right. Fair enough. Food is nice. It kind of doubles as, like, genuinely the stuff he's been working on, as in, like, animatronics and killing machines, but more so karma is what this comes down to. It took me a good while to decipher what those lines actually meant to me. The original meaning was just like, oh, hey, this kind of sounds cool. But I've been trying to think about, like, what it could actually mean, because it does have a meaning that makes sense. Oh! Love that. Hateful heart with a curious mind. That's pretty self-explanatory. He is... in some interpretations, he's like a mad scientist type character. But at the least, he's very curious about, bringing... how do I word that? Revitalizing life, basically. And he's able to do these horrible things. William Afton, in this case, is that's what this song's about. Way of thinking is one of a kind. That's self-explanatory. There's not, like, a deep meaning behind that. Yes, Willie Boy Afton, absolutely. Gasp for breath has strings on wind. I wanted to include something relating to the puppet, because, like, for the original, like, building up of the killer, the puppet and their storyline was very important. So I felt like it was good to include some sort of reference to that. Exactly. Where were we? Gasp for breath is quite literal, though. As strings unwind, as everything comes undone. Exactly. And then I'll come back in with Golden Ambition. It's a reference to always coming back and just continuing to do his horrible things that he's doing. Exactly, I always come back. Oh, interesting. And then I'll come back in due time, as in, it's for sure gonna happen. He'll be back in some way, no matter what. He always is. I'm following personal hell, no one can tell. The streams of this calling. Oh, interesting. I mean, it was only a matter of time. Personal hell, that's quite literal. No one can tell. That line is sort of a reference to how to continue to put on this, like, business owner facade. Not facade. He was a business owner. To keep putting on that kid-friendly and trustworthy facade, like, that's all that's a reference to, you know? Love that. Reminder, in case you didn't see, this stream is a bit more friendly than my other streams. So maybe keep it a bit more appropriate than, like, some other streams. You're good. It's still not rated E. because of the potential of that happening, so. The world falling down on top of me part is just... There's nothing... there's nothing too interesting there. It's just everything's collapsing. It could be literal, but... Oh, you don't have to do that. But, like, it pretty much just means... after everything that he's built up, it's, once again, looking at that irony of, like, how he's built these robots to kill, and now one of them killed him, basically. Not one of the ones meant to kill, but the one that he killed in. Just, like, everything he's built up's crumbling down now, essentially. That's it. And then there are some extra little additional lines. Boiling, drowning, falling. That's just a callback to earlier in the song. Dying, dying, gone. That's a reference to the scene that this is about. Once again, the spring lock scene. And then Never Truly Gone, I Always Come Back. And then Rot, Rot, Rot. That's just a reference to the EP. And also the fact that he's a rotting corpse. So yeah, that's the... Interesting. I feel like there's so much more that could have been done with FNAF World. I don't know. It could have also been cool to see FNAF World just be not lore relevant as well. Maybe have little hints about lore pieces that aren't too important. I don't know. Yes, off. Oh gosh, love that. No, because I literally did that. Based on a class I had, that's where Micro Island came from. FNAF World's canon. Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Alright, taking a step away from FNAF for the only time in this EP, actually. Oh, I'm so excited. Eventually I'm gonna get to talk about that whole project. True. Alright, so this song is written from the perspective, once again, another song written from a character's point of view. Most of these are. Oh. Benny, thank you. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Okay. Anyway. I did! I also added the new intro. Hang on. Jump scare warning. I'm gonna put the new intro on. Yeah! New intro! Plus I added R&R and boxes onto the waiting screen. Alright, this song is written from the perspective of Jevil, and I just thought he was a really fun character. Did I say he? I think they're only referred to as they, I don't know. I thought Jevil was a really fun character, so I wanted to explore, like, their thought process and the way they viewed the world. So, trapped in a game? Oh, what a shame. Got a bad deal of cards. The deal's to blame. But it can't be undone. It stays the same. Hi, Leo. Jevil's the best. Hello. So it's just the fact that Jevil is self-aware that they're trapped in a game. And of course we have the cards analogy with the card kingdom. Sort of saying the line of the deal's to blame, it's a double meaning. It's meant to be like, oh, the way the cards were dealt, but also potentially a deal with a darker force. Oop, love that. Ooh, I think Knight's recording another video, perhaps. Ooh, go check out your fellow Knight. And also Benny MSM. Like, go check those two people out. They're very great. Very lovely. Also, Pings, Flying Pings. Go check her out. I have to watch her I'm Back video. I haven't finished it. There are such cool people out there. Yeah, I do remember that. Round and round the world will spin all day, wasting all your time within a game. And then it repeats the round and round. Yet you're in there wasting life away. Okay, so round and round, that's simply just saying that that's a reference to, first off, the name of the song that this is sort of a remix of, basically. The World Revolving, or the World is Revolving? I don't remember what it's called. But also, it's a continuation on the next line of it's just saying that you're wasting all your time literally playing a game. Essentially, what that could also mean is, once again, referencing the fact that Jevil knows that they're in a game. Simple enough. Chaos, come out and join the fun. That's just Jevil. Dark and Darker, a game played by everyone. That is referencing some Gaster ? Undertones that... Not undertones. Pretty recurring hints of Gaster ? in Deltarune. I keep saying Gaster ? because we're not... That's never been confirmed as the character's name, or... But... point is, it's likely who we are calling Gaster, basically. And it's a reference to that. Freedom's out there, you just gotta catch it. All you sinners, reach out and touch it. World revolving, games are calling. Darkness smiles as we are falling. So the darkness smiles as we are falling part, I think that's a reference to Chapter 2, depending on when this came out. Or maybe it's just a reference to the sprite we associate with Gaster, and its smile. The Freedom line is a reference to when you first meet Jevil. All you sinners is also a reference to another line from Jevil. World revolving is a direct reference, to the song this is a remix of, basically. It's a remix of Jevil's theme, if you don't know. What's up? Drink water? Absolutely. Sorry, chat. Lebanese. Okay. Diamonds, hearts, clubs, spades. It's just the different suits. Play your cards from in a cage. Essentially just playing a game while being trapped. Jevil's comparison of everyone else being trapped. Despite the fact that it's them that's trapped. And they kind of know about it, but also are not directly saying it, if that makes sense. I don't know how to word what I mean there, but I feel like that makes sense, right? Life is like a carousel. That's a reference to World Revolving once again, and also the background of the Jevil fight. Oh, I don't know if I said the I can do anything line. That's just something Jevil says. Just play the round and ring the bell. That's just... I was sort of thinking like a carnival theme there. That's it. Just a meeting till he fell. That's also a Gaster reference. Then we repeat here again. And this was a line added in the Raw edition. Nobody has free will, it's all just predetermined. No matter if they spare us or pop us just like vermin. Round and round the world will spin, it still will spin without us. Young or old or poor or king, it really matters not, cuz. And then it goes back to the chorus. But yeah, that's all just saying we have no control. The player can just do whatever they please. And there is not a single thing we can do about it. And how that's an absolutely horrifying existence to live in. Existential horror. We love it. So that's join the fun. Next up is Shattering. Unless any of you have any questions about Hateful Heart or come on now. Hateful Heart or Join the Fun, both Raw edition, but also just generally. If there's any questions, just let me know. I would absolutely love to answer them. Alright. So Shattering is a song about Vanny. Or more specifically, Vanessa, actually. Yeah, what's up? Was that message to me? Or was that to everyone? Oh yeah, I have water right there. I always have water. I drink so much water. Don't worry. Reminder if everyone else, posture check first of all. Is your posture good? Work on it if it's not. Mine's not. I'm working on it. Take your meds if you haven't. If you're hungry and are able to, go do something about that. Did I say drink water? Because go drink water. Did I say take your meds if you have meds to take? Because go do that too. Alright. So next up is Shattering. I'm up all night, but there's missing time. That's quite literal. Where was I? Am I alright? That's meant to have a question mark. Whatever. Song. True. I can't drink sweet drinks very much. I really like water. But this whole first verse is just essentially Vanessa being like, what's happening? That's it. It might be nothing. Maybe I should try to ignore it when I feel his watching eyes. That's all just quite literal. I feel like I'm not alone, even when it's just me in the room. It's almost like in the back of my mind there's some kind of monster that hides from sight. Oh, yeah, that happens at school. It's annoying. Oh. I assume that's a goodbye, so goodbye, Nebula. Oh, goodness. Okay. But yeah, once again, that's quite literal. I suppose I could have also written just a small bit of myself, nothing concerning, into this song. Just the, at the time of writing this, being up all night, and essentially since I just dedicated this time to, like, video games, watching videos, or working on things, I'd feel like nothing valuable was done with that time. Despite the fact that there was valuable stuff done at the time, but hey, we're not going to talk about that. But that's just... I don't know if that had any way of getting into the song or not, but there's that. Oh, love that. Oh. Oh, Nebula? Carpet? Yeah, colorism's weird. I can feel it, it's approaching, I feel my control is slipping, run from myself, it runs faster, I can feel my whole mind shattering. I'll just say the next line. So, essentially just this little, this is the pre-chorus, and it was meant to show, like, how horrifying it would be to feel yourself, like, slipping out of control and just essentially being piloted by something else as you are kind of just like pushed to the back of your own mind where this entity, I guess, is coming from, and not being able to do anything about it, not having any control over your body. That's a big fear of mine, and that's why I hate going to sleep in front of people, is I absolutely hate not having control of my own body. And I feel like that fear is put into this song. The song's more personal than I thought it was, but it's not personal in the ways that would be concerning, luckily. when I'm... Oh. Interesting. Interesting. My reality is slipping from my control. I feel joy from these actions that aren't my own. That's... in this case, it could either mean that Vanessa is enjoying what is happening when she's not in control of her own body, but it could also mean that she feels the joy that, I'm just gonna say the virus for simplicity's sake, that she can feel the joy that the virus feels, basically. I search all night, but there's just no sign. Am I fine or out of line? It might be nothing. Maybe I should try to ignore all the urges that come from inside. Once again, kind of just looking for... It could be, like, physically looking, but I feel like it would make a bit more sense as, like, sort of trying to figure out what's happening with herself, you know? Interesting. Oh god. I'm so sorry, Benny. Okay. There's some kind of monster that hides from sight. That's quite literal. And is exactly what's happening. See, the whole song is meant to sound like it would be an analogy. And Vanessa could essentially, it's her thought process of, well, maybe it is just all in my head. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe these are these, like, metaphorical feelings. But, like, if you read the lyrics, it's just stuff that's literally happening to her, you know? Alright, we're gonna skip A Mile and Disdain, because these are not the most up-to-date versions of these songs. So true, Benny. So Loop, first of all, was meant to be like a culmination of pretty much every song from Rot, as well as sort of like an I'm getting tired of the FNAF storyline repeating over and over again thing, you know? However, I was really on the fence about including Join the Fun on Rot. It could have been a FNAF only EP, but I decided, yeah, I'll include it. So it just wasn't referenced in this. I also didn't plan on it being an EP thing in general. That only came after, and I was like, you know, that kind of has to... This song has to be the finale, with Hateful Heart being the beginning. So I was like, okay, can literally just go in release order then. It was mostly just meant to be a callback to all of my past FNAF songs, which is why it has all of the Rot EP minus Join the Fun. Oh, that's concerning. I recommend maybe just, like, slowly having a little bit less and a little bit less. Would that maybe be a better solution than gum, you know, considering that is part of the problem? Interesting. Oh. Huh. Oh, I recommended, like, chewing gum every time you wanted candy, but gum is also considered candy, so maybe that wouldn't help. So maybe just, like, slowly having a bit less each time. I don't know. That's my idea. Anyway, loop, melt me down and put me back together. That line is a reference to Molten MCI, I believe. Or just anything that Molten Freddy is. You know? Just... Song... Oh, interesting. What? Thank you, Nebula. Listen, Benny. I'm trying my best. Thank you. This is like the whole cream cheese thing on the Brandon Rogers stream earlier. Oh my god. People kept talking about cream cheese. Walk a mile in my mind, I'm smoldering shattered. So... This song's just being like, I'm tired of... This is hard, really hard to word. We'll get there in a moment. We'll start with the references here. A mile is a reference to a mile. Shattered is a reference to shattering. Smoldering is actually a reference to a My Singing Monsters bonus island for the Hybrid Island series that probably won't ever come out, but has a chance of existing. There's some monsters that exist for it, but it probably won't happen. You're a hateful heart with a miserable mind. That's just a reference to Hateful Heart. I wish you'd stay inside your fucking grave this time. That's about Afton, because he always comes back. And the problem with that is that he always comes back. Ooh, interesting. I like Ennard. I like cream cheese in certain contexts, but usually I don't like it. Oh, Nebula. My dog ate my wall. Like, down there, like, right down there. But besides the fact that this song is about the FNAF series, essentially feeling like it's trying to loop over and over again, or at least that's how the theories felt, it was also, in the mind of, like, a character who is being forced into a role and is being treated like they're nothing, despite the fact that they are, like, forcing themselves to fit in this role, basically. Yeah. That's meant to say these! I've noticed an error. Hang on. Hang on, give me a second here. Hang on, I need to write this down. This error must have been in here for a minute. Do you know who's worse than Balloon Boy? Dee Dee. Dee Dee can die. And Plush Baby. I hate Plush Baby so much. Give me 5 Balloon Boys over 1 Plush Baby. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So, behind these tattered wires, life and death and hearts on fire, it's been years of screams and fears and sears and tears. The Tattered Wires song, behind these tattered wires, life and death and hearts on fire, those are direct lyrics from, one of my unreleased songs. Technically released, and then not unreleased. It was released, and then I took it back. Basically. True. Okay. Sorry, I was reading chat. Hello? What are we going to do? What? Oh. What is happening? Hello? Anyway, distractions. But yeah, my first ever song that I've written, and also that I've posted like forever ago. Once again, unreleased now. Tattered Wires. That's what that's a reference to. I thought it'd be really fun to include it in what was probably going to be my last FNAF song. At least for a while. So I did. The Tattered Wires is a reference to Molten Freddy. Life and Death and Hearts on Fire. It's just, there's so much dying and rebirth in FNAF. And fire. There's so much fire. Years of screams and fears and sears and tears. Screams can be jump scares, but also just death, child death. Sears, once again, fire. Tears, once again, child death. Why is this dragging on and on? Why can't anyone just stay gone? That's a reference to all of those theories that kept popping up, and have been popping up for a good minute now, of this character is this character brought back to life. This character is this character, but a robot. This character is this character possessing this character. You know, it's just... Goodbye, Nebula. You know, it's... Why, is my question. Why does it have to be that? Why can't we just let the characters whose stories are done stay gone unless we have something actually new and interesting to bring back, instead of just bringing back their old storylines on loop? Yeah, it's not just game theory though. It was a community-wide thing for a good minute there. It's starting to tame a bit more now, but this one is this is the pre-chorus, I believe. Yeah. Am I wrong? Am I real? Am I gone? Can I feel? Who is lost? What's the cost? How many lives did you steal? We've done this over and over again. By now I know the deal. So all the question parts are sort of like, are these characters worth anything anymore if they're just gonna die and come back and die and come back, you know? How many lives did you steal? That's just a question to Afton. It's also meant to be taken as like an existential thing, like, how many times are these kids going to die and come back, basically? Rip me to pieces, stitch me to your taste, keep the anger, toss kindness, 'cause you think it's a waste. So that's a reference to what happened with Ennard after, or between 5 and 6, basically. The whole conversation between FNAFworld.com and ScottGames.com. That's what Rip Me to Pieces is about. And Stitch Me to Your Taste. That's also a vague reference to the Stitch Wraith, just the name, the word Stitch, that's it. It's not very deep there. But it's a reference to mostly what became of Ennard being Molten Freddy and Scrap Baby. Keep the anger, toss kindness, that's especially Scrap Baby. Stitch me to your taste, that's Molten Freddy. I'm exactly the thing that you demand, I'm exactly what you think that I am. I've got to stain on the brain, and you're exactly the one I want to damn. So, the ones that start with I'm and I've, like those lines there, everything except that last line, pretty much, that is essentially that character coming back of essentially making yourself exactly what somebody else wants. The problem is I don't know what that would look like. That's I can't. I'm sorry. And then the last line is possibly a reference to the Blob, but I don't know. I don't know. Here we have another scrapped song. It's curtain call, the sun is set, but the show won't stop, constant reset. Always a race around the clock, but we end up right back at the top. That's a reference to how most of the FNAF games are just like the gimmick of waiting for the clock to hit 6 a.m. And you know, it's starting during the night shift. That's it. But the clock analogy is, it goes a little bit deeper than that. It's also like you're just going around over and over and over again, which is the whole theme of being exhausted because it's the same thing over and over again behind these tired eyes that have been brought to life far too many times. Once again, characters being brought back. No need. There's just no need. It's not good for the characters. It's not good for the story. It's not a fun plotline. Like I said, for A Mile and Disdain, those will be covered in the Apple Farm single, Behind the Music episode, which will be episode 2. And then it'll be a good while before episode 3 happens. Basically, it's basically just my plea of, please, just something new and original, please. Please, this is this is being exhausted. There's no need. It's too much to just keep bringing back the same things over and over again. Please, new. Please. So for the visual theme of the album, it's coming out of a grave. And of course we have the red, black, and then the like the cyany green turquoise color. So what that whole thing is about, and the whole look of this, the like stitched together hand coming back out of the grave, all of these songs are relating to characters who... How do I word that? Oh, I've got Disdain on the brain. That's also a Disdain reference. I forgot to mention that. Oh, baby, I'm spinning around the corner. So true. Thank you, Benny. I got distracted. Oh, Void. I see. I gotcha. I get what you're saying there, Benny. Okay. Hang on. Can we go into a higher quality? Thank you. I was gonna say, I know this image is higher quality than this because I drew it. So we have the word rot here and then the title up here. But the reason it is like a whole like zombie undead theme, and also like, you know, rot, Hateful Heart is about William Afton, a guy rotting to death in a, like, as a corpse in a bunny suit. And then Shattering and Loop are just more on that. A Mile essentially creates a walking, talking corpse. Join the fun, having no control over whether you live or die, and also knowing that none of it matters anyway. Disdain is about a friend of mine who has, like, passed. So, like, all of it has a theme of rot, decay, and death. So that's why I went for this theme. And also Ruby, Onyx, Turquoise. Those were the main hair colors. I also did silver and blonde, but those weren't really during... I don't associate those with any songs, you know? Like, I associate all of the songs either with my natural dark brown hair, which is the Onyx part. But anyway. Oh, I can do another... are you free, like... if I do another stream immediately after this one, talking about Apple Farm, I can get to Disdain on that one. But yeah, if there's no questions, I'm going to move on to Apple Farm and start a new stream. Oh, we're gonna do it like that, YouTube, huh? Wow. Thanks. Alright. If anyone has any questions about any of these lyrics or songs or themes or designs or anything like that relating to Ruby Onyx Turquoise, let me know. Once again, A Mile and Disdain will both be talked about in the Apple Farm single, which will be episode 2, which will be immediately after this one, actually. I do plan to do more of these eventually when another batch of music comes out, whether it be like another single, another EP, like an album type thing, just whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope you get something out of this. I don't know. I'll see you hopefully on the next episode, which will, like I said, be happening immediately after. But if not, either way, I hope you have a lovely day or night, whatever it is for you. Goodbye.